Are we up? I think we're up. Yes, yes, yes. Look at this. It looks dark out there, but it's a beautiful, beautiful blue day. It's chilly. It's standard classic Japanese autumn weather now. If you're out there hiking or something in Hakone today, you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Clear, beautiful blue skies, crispy cold. Not the day to be on a cold back street. Beautiful day today. For those who can get out there and enjoy it. Whatever. Good morning, good morning. Hello everybody. Thursday, you know what's going on? It's the same block. We're going to continue. Oops, got some stuff here to clean up first. Okay. So someone's got it, the long shadows of a winter morning. Yeah, we're coming up to the longest day of the year in a few weeks, of course. Okay, in an attempt to mitigate the recent microphone problems, and I mean gurgling problems, whatever, I tried something different this morning. I quit my swim at 800 meters. I normally go 1,000 meters, a kilometer. And that puts me really, really running in time to get this stream started. So I quit today 200 meters early. I got out of the pool at 800 meters and grabbed a coffee and a cup of yogurt. Coffee's not quite finished yet, excuse me. In an attempt to mitigate the noise problems we've had from the area of the microphone. So I don't, whether it'll help or make it worse, I don't know. I don't know. It's a postcard that came in. We get them at this time of year in November or early December. I don't remember the Japanese name for them. It's a type of formal postcard. Normally, you know the custom of Japan of sending New Year's cards. It was huge in years gone by. These days it's decreased quite a bit. But it's still a thing, sending New Year's cards to people. And, you know, the post office still does deliver things on January 1st. But there's another custom related to Japanese New Year cards, in that if somebody in your family or close to you has passed away during this year, you don't send New Year's cards to your acquaintances, friends, and business associates at the end of the year. Happy New Year and stuff. You're supposed to stay restrained and keep quiet. So you don't send New Year cards. And also, the idea is you don't want to receive them. So it's a really bit strange custom. What you do is in November or December, you send a little postcard like this out to all the people you would have sent New Year's cards to and whom you would expect to receive one from. And it just notifies them, well, in this case it's from a friend in Kyoto, and Soka, his wife's brother, has passed away during this last year at age 68, etc., etc., etc. So just a quiet notification that because we've had somebody in the family pass away this year, we won't be participating in the New Year's custom. So what I must remember to do now is I'm supposed to cross this person off my list for sending New Year's cards. But just this year, I can pick it up again next year. And sometimes these come late. In fact, this is kind of late for this, because there are people around who have got their New Year's cards done and ready and in the post office. The post office asks you to post them early, mail them early in December, and they hold them back. And what happens is on January the 1st, these days it's done by college students who work over the holidays as a part-time job. College students get on their bicycles and they deliver the New Year's cards January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So some people have already sent their cards. So this person who sent this is actually a little bit late on this. I don't remember the name of these cards. I'm sorry. There's a special name for them. I don't remember the name. I only see it once a year, so I don't remember the terminology. Okay, what else? Oh, this is for our show and tell. We have a small scale but hopefully interesting show and tell. Remind me at 9:15, please. And then other work. Oh, other work. I didn't know that was there. That's going out of the way. That is a top secret project. Absolutely top secret. Someone's asking paper out, not someone. The Tom is asking for paper out. No, not today. There are no printers working upstairs today. We have again been hit by the virus. One of the printers, whose name she wouldn't want me to talk to you about, her husband was diagnosed positive the other day. So she is getting tested. What's the thing? Her husband was diagnosed yesterday morning, so the family all got tested today, and I will be hearing their results today. In the meantime, she's not coming, and the other printers who were with her in the room 2 days ago are also now off at home. So there's a small episode of virus up in the printer's room. Doesn't seem to be affecting anybody else in the company, and we'll see. It may be everybody will be negative, but at the moment we don't know, so they're all staying home. So today there are no printers working. I'm sorry. And it's going around the company, not everybody yet. I haven't had it yet. She's whatever, maybe about half of the staff now have been hit by this at one point or another. I don't know, I'm not keeping track. None of the people so far have been seriously affected. Aoyama-san, a year and a half ago, he got the virus before the vaccination era, and he went down hard. And it was very, very, very difficult. He went down really hard. Came back, he seems normal now. He's behaving normally, seems normal. Everybody else here who has got the virus has had it in the post-vaccination era, so nobody has been severely ill. So no printers paper out, and there won't be for the rest of this week. Maybe Monday it'll be picked up again. If everybody's test comes back positive, if everybody's test comes back clear, negative, then Monday we'll be picking up the printing. But at the moment, no, there's no... Did you see that? My light just died. My light bulb just died. I'm supposed to have an extra here. Can't carve without it. I'm supposed to have an extra. Okay, excuse me 1 sec. I got to run upstairs to my room there and pick up another. Light bulb. I'm supposed to have one by the desk here, and there may actually be one. No, I don't think so. Just let me go upstairs. Back in a moment, sorry. I'm sure there's another one here. I always keep an extra. What a good boy. What a good boy, look at this. Did you see what I saw? Did it flash and then die? No way! Made in, we know where it's made, not Japan. Let me head upstairs. I think I've got some more. It's smaller. It's from my desk lamp upstairs. And it was working last night. No idea. Okay, hopefully it'll last the... How many carvers does it take to screw in a light bulb? Okay, where have we got to? I have been moving right along here, you know. I have not been lazy. I've been busy. We started in this corner, I think. Headed up and around the dragon. Got that part finished. Then we headed down. It's really hard to tell what the image is. That's actually dragon claws. Can you see it? It's really hard to tell at this form, you know. Dragon whiskers, extra whisker. I've avoided the face. I like keeping the eyes till a bit later on. So at the moment, yesterday, I've been going around the face. So we'll be at the end of the face here. Teeth. We have dragon teeth and some more whiskers. So this is where we're working today. Let me get the location set. Come in there. Let's get this. Oops. Pull out, push in. Come on, camera, sit still. Never ever buy a camera with easing. There's no way to turn it off, you know. It's just in there. It's easing. Every time you move the camera physically. It's for like daddy who's taking pictures of his kids in the park. Instead of being jerky and stuff like that, you always get this smooth easing. Okay. Yeah, the old bulb, I was thinking about that. Does it look scratched up or marked? It looked brand new. It came out, the package seemed like a package from the shop, and it came out brand new. Was it one that I have changed before? Not going to make any claims here, because I know how easily it could be mistaken there. So get the technical difficulties out, and it's ready to close the stream. So. Today, actually, from the beginning, has been one of those no good, very bad, not good days. So we'll see. Is Karen here today? I know a couple of the mods are on and off, in and out. If Karen's here today, is she? Yeah, Karen is here. Stand by with that link of yours, Karen said, because it's been very, very, very active yesterday and over during the night. So you might keep your link there, quite handy. this part of the work. You know, you guys are sitting there watching it, but I really don't. This is about the least interesting kind of thing you could possibly watch, you know. Just a bunch of dots and scratches. It's actually careful work though, you know. The idea here, I mean, we've got a dragon, and any given dot doesn't look like a dragon. It's when you see the whole thing as a whole that it starts to look like a dragon. But all these dots and stuff do actually have taste. You know, the person who drew them, and then the person who traced it all, me, a few weeks ago, tried to get, you know, with any given line, with any given dot, with any given stroke, you try and get them with a good, like, a good feel, a good little taste. You know, it's hard to describe. You have to think about how the brush would have drawn it. The brush comes in and sweeps down, then the brush comes up, it flicks up. You got to try and catch the movement of the original brush in all of this stuff. If you just hack and chop and cut them anyway, how it looks like it doesn't matter because nobody could ever see it. But actually, when you then do see the finished thing, it looks terrible if you do it that way. So you really have to follow the style and follow the, I can't say formula, you have to follow the style with every one of these little cuts, no matter how small. Because it really does make a difference in the finished print. You know, the edge of this little stroke here, it could be straight. No, you've got to put a little scallop on the end of it. Shoop, a little curve. I didn't cut that straight. I cut that with a curve. And like no human being will ever actually notice that. I know. But it will make a difference. Everybody will notice it as part of the subconscious image of the picture, but nobody will ever notice the actual thing itself. It's hard to describe. In the early days, I didn't know this. I didn't get it. I was just cutting what I thought were sort of shapes. Cut the shape and it'll all come together. And yeah, it does, but it doesn't. As part of the video series that's going to accompany, as part of the video episodes that are going to accompany the series, we're going to talk about that in one of the episodes. We're going to spend a whole episode, a YouTube episode, talking about this and using large-scale examples. I'm going to make a sample block with a large-scale, a couple of Japanese characters on it, and we're going to carve them in a good way and then in an intermediate way and then in a bad way, so you can see the difference. Because talking about it today, whatever, nobody can see what's going on at the scale we're building here. How many, oh, I shouldn't have cut this mistakes, would an experienced carver to expect to make? There's none really. I mean, what we're doing here today, what I'm doing here today, is not actually really difficult work. I mean, it's small scale, which makes it a little bit difficult, but that's experience. None of the things I'm doing, each stroke of the knife, none of it's particularly difficult. The hanshita is clear because I traced it well. The design is there and visible. So there's nothing specifically difficult about this work other than the fact that it's very, very detailed. And, you know, it's experience that's guiding the knife more than just, you know, copying the black shapes. Accidents happen. Well, with a piece of wood like this, there's very little grain. You know, you've heard me complain many, many times about the grain. When I was cutting that Surfer Girl block the other day, oh my God, it's back and forth, and the grain is terrible. And it really gets out of control sometimes. This boxwood is like butter. If you imagine a really, really, really firm butter, this is what this boxwood is like. So there's very few things where the knife is going to slip or the knife is going to be guided wrongly because the wood is in the way or something. This is straightforward, peaceful, quote, unquote, easy work. on the edge of the camera. You know, I keep adjusting this thing and it keeps seeming like it's not. There's absolutely no way I would be able to do this without this magnification now. When I was younger, maybe I could have done this. At this point in my life, it's absolutely, completely impossible. If I were really a carver of the old days, I would have been forced to retire now. I'm 71. I guess I would have been a carver who could have worked till he was, I don't know, 50-something or 60 maybe, I don't know. Maybe if I was in a larger workshop, I could still be useful. They wouldn't let me use the cutting knife anymore, but I could do clearing work. But I wouldn't be cutting up to lines. But I could do the noisy clearing stuff. And I would imagine, you know, I have no direct information on this. We have no knowledge whatsoever of how workshops actually worked in the old days. But I would imagine, of course, that's how it works, you know. Once somebody like myself, no matter how good a carver you are, once you get to the point where you can't see it anymore, then you would have been relegated, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't even say relegated. You would have been assigned to a different kind of work. The clearing work would make sense for this person. And I guess he would happily accept it rather than being booted out on the street, you know. Once you're done and you can't do it anymore, if you can still be active in the workshop at clearing, which the top guns really wouldn't want to do because it's a waste of their time, then I guess that's how it must have worked. Although, again, we have no documentation whatsoever of this. But clearly that's the way it would have gone. Dave would now be a clearing man, you know. And probably happy to have the employment, I guess, you know. And there must have been no shortage of, you know, young lions in the workshop waiting to take the top guy's job. I don't know how the transitions happened, you know. You could imagine there could be hostile takeovers or just, you know, because the top guy might actually have been the guy owning the workshop, you know, and dishing out the jobs. So, you know, imagine if this was me here. I'm the guy who's actually assigning all the carvers to different jobs, and I'm the guy who's gradually decaying and can't do the work himself. So what do, you know? If it's somebody else who pulls me off the job and puts somebody else in, then there you have it. The boss has done this to you. But when it's you, when you're the boss, I don't know. Yeah. Someone's asking about Hokusai there. The thing I was mentioning just a few minutes ago, this is of course actually nothing to do with Hokusai. Please don't confuse the issue. I was speaking about one of the production workshops, the workshop where the carving the blocks happens. And similar things would have taken place in the printing workshops. Hokusai had nothing to do with those places. These are the places that made prints based on his designs. We read that in his very early days, he may have been apprenticed as a carver at some point. It's sort of a little bit unclear about that. But it seems like Hokusai may have been a carver when he was like 10 or 12 years old for a while. Well, that's not clear, but we see that in the biographies. Apprenticed as a woodblock carver for a short time. So there's some confusion there that Hokusai was a carver. Other than that little episode when he was young, no, of course not. Once his career as a designer was established, then he would never touch tools again, of course. But it is possible if he did have that experience as a younger person in a carving workshop, that would give him insight, that would give him knowledge about how they worked. And we do know from, they have leftover correspondence and stuff, they do know that Hokusai was very, very much interested in the production process, how well the things were being made. And there's one set of letters, I guess, back and forth between a publisher that talks about choosing a carver for a job. And I think it was the job of the third volume of the 100 Views of Mount Fuji. He talks about that, and he names names. He said, I want you to get Egawa. And I think there's a letter there where Hokusai is talking about this, and he's sketching into the letter. It's available in various books, research books about Hokusai. He says something like, I want you to get Egawa Tomikichi. He's a Top Gun, blah, blah, blah. And he can do my eyes and faces like this. And in this letter, he draws a little Hokusai face. And he said, the other carvers just don't understand. They draw it like this. And he draws a bad face. And this sort of letter is actually left over from Hokusai's day. So we know he cared about this, and he recognized that Egawa-san was a Top Gun carver. And the first 2 volumes of that 100 Views of Fuji are carved by Egawa-san, and the third volume isn't. When I say Egawa-san, I mean Egawa's workshop. So Hokusai was very much aware of this, and he cared about it. And that's what makes this project, the one I'm doing right now, a little bit, if I said nerve-wracking, that might be wrong. But here I am now. I'm doing that same job. I'm hacking away at a Hokusai design, knowing that Hokusai really, really cared about this. And this is part of the motivation. I was speaking a minute ago. These little lines, you try and get the nice taste on each and every line. And part of the motivation here, the reasoning here, I mean, the guy's dead, obviously, but the point being that if the designer were still here, he would really, really, really care about this. So if I want to be a good carver, if I want to be recognized as being somebody who did this job properly, then yeah, I've got to try and get this right on each and every stroke. And that's not going to happen, but as close as we can, you know. No, there were no microscopes in the old days, of course. They had like little glasses, and we believe they used double glasses as well. You know, you've seen me do this, glasses with glasses on top. So absolutely, and we have in some of Hokusai's sketchbooks, in the Hokusai manga, there's a page of workers, and there's a scene of a carver going bang, 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 and another scene of a carver with little round, beady, Japanese-type eyeglasses. So carvers in Hokusai's day did have glasses. They certainly had nothing like this, of course. So imagine what Hokusai would think if he knew some foreigner from Canada. He would never have heard the word Canada, but whatever, some foreigner would be carving his designs, you know. Ghost of Christmas Past, complete with chains. Yeah, right. Thanks. I wasn't having a good day already, and now you're bringing that up. No thanks. I don't know. It's just the same thing. I've been doing this now for 40 years, and nothing has changed. You try and do the best you can. That's all you can say, you know. The best you can has changed as the years have gone by. The best I can wasn't very good back at the beginning. Then it got much, much better, much, much better, and now it's sort of something in between. Because I've got the experience now, but I don't have the body anymore. So. Too soon old, too late smart. Sort of. Is that how it goes? Lots of sound out there, and I think it's in front of the hotel. Now that the tourism has come back, this hotel, of course, is coming alive again. Right in front of us. It's off to the right of the camera there. You can't see it. There's a hotel entrance there. And I hear door slamming taxis. I think there's a taxi there, so it's people coming in and out of the hotel. They'll be probably heading to the airport. Not many people arrive at this time of day, but lots of people leave the hotel at this time of day. They check out and head to the airport. And through the rest of the morning and through the rest of the day, the new people arrive at the hotel. So we have these taxis and things happening all day long. When did I get the Microscope? I got it during the year I was making the Beauties of Four Seasons print. I don't remember what year that is. You can look it up on the website or something. Might have been 2004. I'd finished the Surimono albums. Then I think the next project after Surimono albums was the first Hanga treasure chest, the 24 prints in 1 year, one every 2 weeks. Then I think the next project was the Beauties of Four Seasons. And it was during the summer print that I got this. I know a friend of mine from the Ukraine, Slav Varlakov, he was here, is here, I don't know if he's still in Japan. He was here in Japan at the time working for a jeweler, Van Cleef and Arpels, down in the Ginza. And he was, I say was, he is, was, I don't know if he's still here. He was a jewelry designer, and he was doing actual like engraving and stuff in metal on jewelry parts, like engraving metal, engraving gold, silver, stuff like this. And he, in his personal life before becoming a jeweler, had been in art school in Ukraine or Russia. I don't know where he grew up. He's Ukrainian, but I don't know where he actually grew up. I think he was in art school in Moscow. And he was doing a copper plate engraving, which, you know, plates of copper and using a buran in engraving. And he had worked out how to use one of these Microscopes. And he was visiting my house in Ome one day, and I think he'd seen my black lens or something. And he said, why don't you use a microscope, you know? And Know-It-All Dave said, you can't use a microscope. There's no space. The lens is there and the block is there, and you can't get in between and put your hand in. And he does a face palm or whatever and says, Dave, you just don't know about this. There's a thing called a stereo microscope like this, which has lots of room to put your hand in between. You know, when you look down, oops, wrong camera. When you do it like this, you can see there's lots of room to put your hand in below the scope. So I'm like, that kind of sounds cool. So while he was in my house that day, we got on eBay with my computer that very day while he was there, looking at stuff. And he said, see, that's the one I've got right there. There it is. It's on eBay right there. So I bought it, and it's from NEC in Texas. No, NCR, the National Cash Register Company in Texas. And they were closing some kind of facility or whatever, and they were selling off all their stuff. So I bid for it on eBay and had it shipped over. It cost like $300 or $400, I think, at that time. So Slav Varlakov is the guy who turned me on to this. Because I had thought, Know-It-All Dave had thought, no, you can't use a microscope for this kind of work. But you actually can. There are other kinds now. This is a binocular scope, 2 eyes. There are trinoculars, and I have one. I have one upstairs, a trinocular with the 2 eyes and one for the camera. They're enjoying the Bowser and picture. Hope you don't knock over the camera. So yes, there is a trinocular, which I have, and we have a camera for it. We can't quite get it to work, but now that I've moved everything out of the way, sorry about that. What are they doing out there? They don't realize they're live, I guess, of course. She's right in front of the camera. It doesn't. Lady, you're on the internet. I think I better go and say something. I don't know what they're doing. Just a sec. Where is she going to leave? What is she doing? Excuse me a second. 今ちょっと放送中です。はい、どうぞ大丈夫ですよ。No, she was. I clean up on aisle 3. I have to get out there and clean up once the stream's over. So, I don't want to tell you what she was doing. I have some cleanup work to do. It's dog poop. It's a family. It's a father with a daughter and then a stroller with a baby in the stroller. And somewhere up the street, she must have stepped in some dog poop. And she chose that particular spot to use her tissue and wipe off her shoes. So there's brown steps coming down the street. At least we didn't get a real good close-up view of it. So I have a job to do at 9:30 when we finish the stream here. Get my brush out. And most people do pick up the poop really, really, really well. Really well. It's very, very rare. What would usually happen? This happened actually just a couple of weeks ago when I did the morning sweep up. The dog had pooped, whatever, and the lady must have done something during the night. So there was, but there was quite a lot of smear. We don't need to talk about this. Let's just get back to her. For the most part, people do clean up after the dogs pretty well here. Japanese wood carving brought to you by It does sound like it's going to be kind of a weird day today. It's like one of those days when it's not just that it's a bad day and stuff goes wrong, it's that it's a weird day and like strange stuff happens all day long. I think it's turning out to be one of those days, I think. Okay, let's do the teeth. It's funny cleaning the street because we did the street on Tuesday. Tuesday was the monthly cleaning date. So I thought that skipping that 200 meters, is this karma? Am I going to be punished for that? I was guilty when I did it, I was coming up 26, 27, 28, 29, thinking, should I go the full 40? Dave, you got to get there, you got to get to the camera, you got to get the stream set up, you got this problem with the hacking, you got to get going. I got 30, 31, 32, it's 800 meters, let's just go. And half my brain is saying, no, you can't quit, you got to do your kilometer. If you start, it's the beginning of a slippery slope. But I jumped out and headed for the shower. Slippery slope. The thing about the pool, is something else. I guess I could say this or not say this, I don't know. When I started going to the pool every day, every weekday, this was just over a year ago, back in November last year. When I started going, like the first day I went, I got in the water and I could get to the end of the pool, 25 meters, stand for a minute, come back, 25 more meters. And I did like whatever, 100 or 200 meters the first day, step by step, Now it's funny, you know, I do my kilometer, chop, 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 get out of the pool, walk to the shower, nothing. I don't even, you know, nothing. There's no, there's nothing. It's not even like climbing upstairs. I just get out of the water and just walk away. And it's like zero impact. So I don't know if it's actually beneficial anymore. Is it exercise if it doesn't make you tired and make you pant? Are you supposed to just keep pushing it and pushing it more to the point where you get tired? I don't know. I don't want to do that. I don't want to work this up in next year 2 kilometers, next year 3 kilometers. I don't care about that. I just want to stay healthy. But I have to say now, when I get out of the pool, I don't feel even like I've exercised. It's just nothing. So I suppose the benefit is there. If I didn't do it, it would slip back, I guess. But I have to say, it just doesn't feel like exercise. It feels like just walking down the street. I suppose it's there, I guess. Just, maybe this is the goal. I don't know. Like a panties, my body is better at shipping oxygen, and I guess so. So I'm in shape, and yeah. I suppose so. I'm not complaining about this. I'm just sort of a bit curious, because when I do, after I come out of the pool, not today, but normally when I do my full kilometer, I come out, I head for the shower room, have a shower, have a bath. If the bath is open, it's not always open at that time of day yet. Then come back to the locker room, get changed. And the next locker, you know, you always use the same locker each time. People sort of fall into these routines. And in the same bank of lockers, there's another guy there who I don't see every day, but most days. And he comes in at 7 o'clock together with me and a bunch of other people. Then I head for the pool. He heads upstairs to the track or something. So this guy at the next few lockers down, he works out upstairs on the machines or jogging or something like that. And when he comes down to the change room after his exercise, this guy is beat. He's a limp rag. He just sits there on his chair. Oh my God. And he's done his whatever, jogging or something like that. And I come out of the pool and like I'm just walking around, and this guy is beat up. So this is making me think, you know, am I doing it wrong? You know, should I be really tired after the workout? I don't know, you know. He's also about half my age, so I guess he must be really, really working hard. He's just doing something on some heavy machine that really kills you, you know. Actually, there is something different too, because he must be running, because he's a marathon type guy. He always has a T-shirt with Vancouver Marathon 1995 and stuff like this. Every day he's got a different T-shirt with a different marathon date. So he's obviously a recreational marathon runner. So I guess for him, the exercise is, you know, push yourself every day to the point where you sort of can't do this anymore, maybe. Because he really is trying to do something different than I'm doing. I'm just trying to stay in shape, and he's trying to make sure he can get through a marathon. So I guess it's different goals, you know. feel like a dentist. What did you do today? I cleaned some dragon's teeth. It doesn't look pretty when you look at the bare block because you can see all the picky stuff around the lines. Like between the teeth there, it's not smooth and clean. But the lines of the teeth themselves are straight. That's what we need. Clearly carved in. Okay, let's head out for this whisker. Different conversations going on. As usual, we have our vegetable man, our famous vegetable man. It says Yasai no Maruyasu. He's actually late today. I've learned over time his pattern. I frequently see his truck out there on the way back from the pool. This be at 7:40, 7:45, somewhere on there. That's where I see his truck. He has 5 or 6 different places where he parks. He must have a whole ton of deliveries in this area. And he doesn't always park here on any given day. He's parked here, he'll do 4 or 5 deliveries. Sometimes he parks a little farther up the street near the apartment where all the Esso live, and he delivers up there. He's a busy guy, and there's no way people are asking, get him to act as a guest on the stream and stuff like this. No way, I'm not going to interfere. He is a very, very busy guy. He's hustling. He's a real hustler. You can maybe see when he gets back to his truck here, or maybe you've already seen it. Open the door, check, is this box, go, bang. This guy is on a schedule. And he must have been working at this. This is early morning. He will have been at the vegetable markets, you tell me, 3, 4, 5 o'clock. The stuff comes in from the outlying farms. It works like the fish markets. It all runs during the early morning. The markets are probably pretty much finished by now. So he'll have been there bidding and looking around on his vegetables, trying to find stuff to fill his contracts. He's got, obviously contracts with a bunch of the restaurants here to deliver. I need, 10 bunches of naganegi or whatever they are, And he has to get to the markets and find the stuff, and then find good stuff at a reasonable price to be able to fill his delivery contracts. I don't know if he's an independent worker or if this is one truck from a fleet run by a larger vegetable company. I have no idea. He could be just one guy working all by himself. This could be his business. Or it could be that he's just another delivery man for a larger outfit. And the sound in the background down there tells you it's Thursday morning. The bottles and cans are being picked up by the city trucks. Speaking of vegetables and restaurants and et cetera, the little restaurant, the little bar across the street, the one that has been rebuilding for the past few months, I mentioned that they were open the other night. They have been open for the last few days, but they're still doing construction during the days. There's a couple of trucks pull up and they're still building out the kitchen. They're building all kinds of stuff, pulling things out and putting things in. And yet every evening now they are open. And they really have changed. And it looks like what I was speculating on the other day has come true. It looks like Dad has decided to pass on the business to his sons. And what they've done, there's the two big sons. They're bald, they're giant people. They look like they're ready to come off a football field. Really, really big boys. Huge, huge human beings. They seem cheerful and friendly and happy-go-lucky kind of guys. And there's two of them. I don't think they're twins. They're not identical, but they're really, really, really similar. So I guess Dad has passed on the business to the two boys, and they have changed the whole style of the business. As part of the renovations, the whole front doors have become glass now. They used to be dark and you couldn't see inside. You lifted up the note and it was a smoky old little bar. Now they've turned it into a bright lit, fully lit restaurant with a kitchen at one side, a counter, and then chairs and tables along. And it's brightly lit. There's a big TV at the other end and you can see through the front doors. So they've turned it in, instead of a dim smoky bar, they've turned it into a sort of local restaurant. I haven't been in there because I'm still not going to restaurants. And also, when I've been walking by now in the evenings, I look into the big open windows and I can see there's the mom and one of the boys behind the counter cooking up, and one of the other boys was serving something, and a crowd of people in there, and Dad's at the end of the counter, sitting there puffing. So it's still going to be a smoky den, but it really looks like they've made themselves a new business model. And you never used to see people going in there, and it was jammed the last few days. So it looks like really something interesting has happened with that family. So I will maybe, whatever, Dad maybe doesn't have long left. So once he's out of the way, I'll start going in there. I don't know, we'll see. So the menu is just Japanese, sort of Japanese pub stuff. They're still calling themselves a sakeba, sake place. They're still calling themselves like a pub, an izakaya. They call themselves a sakeba. So we'll have to give it a try one day. But it really is neat to see this. And the boys sort of try and do aisatsu on the street. You know, I don't know their names and I can't talk to them, but they nod. And the other thing, we've talked about the takeout window. This truck is still in the way. Is he going to leave? We can't see. When he leaves, we'll look at it. The restaurant there, oh, here he is. He's gone. Let's pop this up so you can see what's going on. It's the restaurant to the right of the Blue Whale restaurant. We really can't see it from here. There's no point in trying to tell this story. You can't see it. There were two giant air conditioners outside the front door, and they have moved. One of them is gone, and the other one, they've moved the air conditioner and they've put it in front of the takeout window. So the takeout window now has this massive white air conditioner, which you have to sort of lean over, and if it's going to be blowing stuff at you. And then at the top of that, there's the vent from the kitchen. So the takeout window is sandwiched between these two things. They don't have any choice. So what they've chosen to do is leave the entrance open and wide and bright so people can see in. They got rid of the air conditioner that was in front of the entrance and moved it in front of the takeout window. So I guess takeout maybe is not going to be such a big deal from them. But anyway, it's really fun to see this change happening, and I once the virus thing is a bit safer and it's over, I'll definitely go in there and see what they've got. They seem like nice people. I've never ever spoken to them. I don't know their names or anything. In all the 8 years I've been here, I've never spoken to them. They live upstairs over their restaurant, they live upstairs in the shop, and there's the four of them, and it's a really small place, There must be really packed up there. And there's clearly no bath upstairs. It's an old building, kind of like ours. It's the same generation as our building. And there's no bath up there, so the family goes out to the public bath. They jump on their bicycles, and they head to the public bath. You know. And the local public bath is closed. Jakotsu, it's been closed now for nearly 2 years. So they must be going to one that's quite some ways away. You know, no fun for them at all. You know. It's like 15, 20 minutes on a bicycle, and in winter, it's really no fun. You know, when you stroll out to your public bath just down the street, you have a good hot bath in winter, and you come back. It's okay, but when it's 15 minutes away by bicycle, that's really, really no fun. Get your bath and feel really cool, but by the time you get home, you're frozen again. We're okay for time? I'm not watching 9 o'clock. Wait, it's 9 o'clock. 17 seconds. Oh my God, the world is coming to an end. It's 9:27, 9:28. Let me check my email for a sec. Is there an email from Ayano-san? No email. I wonder if she's okay. This is unusual. Oh, she's okay. She's okay. We were worried about you.
Oh, late this guy.
No, I'm not. Don't care that you're late, but we were worried. You got 600 people worried about you. So beautiful, so can't see you. She's okay. Don't panic. It's okay.
Not so late this year. 3 minutes.
I'm not worried. Relax. I'm not. Relax. Where's your train ticket?
Train.
You know, Cameron, when Cameron came on the Tsukuba Express, he used to live in Moriya, so he came by Tsukuba Express. And it was not so rare. I mean, Tsukuba Express is the name of the train. It's not an express train. And they had this deal where, maybe something was wrong on the platform or something, and the trains were 50 minutes late, whatever.
Actually, the train stopped. I was like, oh my God, I don't have much time.
Yeah, but Cameron used to bring the papers, because once they got to Asakusa Station or Akihabara Station, the guys give out to all the passengers this little official paper, because I guess some companies are like upset about this, So.
It's like Tokyo Metro, at least. I don't think they give the tickets.
I don't know the subway. No, so.
Like their website or something.
Yeah, so. So I'm not. No. That's not a hint from me. I'm just mentioning. Cameron used to bring those as a joke. Hey, I got one today. We all should look at it. So.
So, まあ今日は本当に train stopped しましたから。
A likely story.
Partly because I left late.
Doesn't matter. I don't know if you saw it. When you go outside past the camera, be careful. There was an episode with dog poop outside. And I'll explain later, whatever. Just in front of the camera. I don't know. So check. Now, they may have cleaned it up, actually. I interrupted them. Some people were cleaning their shoes, and there was some dog poop on the sidewalk. And it was during the stream, so maybe they had a dog I didn't notice, or they stepped in some poop from somewhere else. So when you go out now, please be careful. Yeah, they may have cleaned up. I don't know. I'm going to find out when I go outside. So it looks clean. She says maybe it's not there. I don't know. No idea.
Well, I'm glad because I'm wearing my favorite shoes today.
The shop is a shoes-on shop, so people just walk in from outside. We do have 2 mats. There's a mat outside the door and inside the door, but the shop is, like most shops, it's a shoes-on zone. the days when you stopped and took your shoes off coming into a shop in Japan, that's long, long, long gone. You know, you've never even seen that, the show. So.
でも in your case, you don't even wear shoes
We don't.
and sandals. You walk in the barefoot.
That's why the lady outside is so upset, you know. So.
If I step on the pool, I can still, wash my shoes.
I know.
It's
No,
walking with
okay.
pool.
So I'll explain later. But what happened was somebody just in front of the camera, they were bent over doing something, and we could see the top of her head in the camera, and like, what's going on? And they were cleaning poop off their shoes. So maybe it's all gone. Anyway, moving right along here. Okay, so my job, Morinagi-san stuff today, the show, that's my job this morning. I know, are there anything other special for me to do this morning? Because I really want to carve as much as possible.
Right. Other than that, I don't think...
It's not a big inbox, you know.
So this
No, the reason is because halfway through the night, whatever, it wasn't accessible. But anyway, whatever. I don't want to talk about that.
I gotta make lots of DHL documents from Ome, and it's gonna take a while.
Okay.
The DHL documents
Okay.
becoming a little.
Okay. And FedEx, it's all booked and ready? I know.
No, FedEx は大丈夫です。
Okay, it's all done, right?
All done.
So we need to help get it downstairs because it's too heavy to show. Okay.
Once
Right.
Akasaka-san comes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks. Good. Okay.
See you later.
So I will have as much as possible a carving day today, I guess, to show. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you. I wear sandals when I go out there. When I'm bare feet right now, and in the shop, bare feet. And if I'm switching to go upstairs, my bare feet. But if I go to the 7-Eleven and stuff, of course I wear sandals. I'm not antisocial to that degree. That would be kind of unacceptable if you started going out in bare feet, walking down the street and going into shops. That would not be cool. And I don't do that. I wear my sandals when I'm outside. And soon it's going to break down. I will be moving towards socks because it's starting to get really cold. I'm still okay with bare feet, but I will switch to sock mode any day now. I wear socks. Of course I do. I'm not an idiot. Just I don't like shoes and socks per se. Anyway, let's get a bit more work done before show and tell. Yoisho. Do you remember that, in the old streams when Cameron used to come in? You know, he was always here for like the last half hour. Cameron used to come at about this time, 9 o'clock or so. And he used to sit in on the stream for the last half hour or so. And those days when his train was legitimately late, that Scuba Express that he ran passed out those tickets. So Cameron would be late, 5 minutes, 10 minutes late. And he'd come in laughing, and the train company passes out those little slips of paper at the exit gates for anybody who needs it, as an excuse for your boss to prove that it was the train that was late and not you. It's kind of a awful thing to say, you know. I mean, society is that untrusting of the adults. Some company would be that untrusting of the adults who work for them. The guy says, I'm late because the train was delayed. Give me proof. It's an awful, awful, awful thing to say, you know. And yet, Japan is like that. They treat people like kids, you know. No, not everybody, of course. Maybe now this thing is dying, I don't know. But it is still very much a thing. A normal person like you or me, whatever, we would hear this. If an employee's late and she comes in and says the train was delayed, we're going to say, oh, okay, just too bad, thanks, let's get going. But for me to say, prove it, my God, I can't believe this. And it is still a thing. I mean, Cameron and I used to joke about that all the time. He would just get them just for fun so he could bring it and show the people on the stream. Here's my proof that the train was delayed. It's quite an indictment, you know. Oh yeah, the Esso song. I did. Thank you. I saw it actually before this stream today too. Thank you very much. At the end of the last stream, Tom 1060 did post a link, and it matched. Not exactly. This is interesting. The one you linked to was, of course, the same song. When the tires are humming and the motor purrs, and the wheels are spinning, and the thought occurs that it's good to be aware of. Your car's been taken care of at the sign of happy motoring. The happy motoring sign. So the one I remember is like that, but the one you linked to actually has that, and then it's opened, and there's something more in the middle. It's a longer version, which I didn't know. I don't remember, or maybe I'm either misremembering this, or there was long versions of the song and short versions of the song. And the one that stuck in my mind was a short version. The one you linked to was a longer version, but clearly the same guy. It's a men's chorus, and that's how I remember it. I didn't say that yesterday, but now that I hear it. Chorus of deep, happy men marching down the street, lumberjacks, when your tires are humming and the thought occurs, blah, blah, blah. So thank you very much for finding that. That really, really was interesting. Thank you very much, Tom 1060. And a giant, massive chocolate egg. That really, really, really is fun. Thank you very much. The other thing that I did mention, that when I saw that commercial, the video you linked to had this big oval thing with the ESSO sign. And of course, I do remember that, but I also remember driving along with Dad, and he was an Esso customer. None of that Texaco stuff, those American companies. So we stopped at the one with the sign that said S.O. And it was Standard Oil, one of those big American companies, whatever. And that's how Esso started. SO used to be SO, Standard Oil. That's why I remember it first. And it must have been about that era. This is the late 50s. We came to Canada in 57. So I'm remembering 57, 8, 9, 60, somewhere around there. And that must be, for some reason, they changed. I don't know anything about the corporate thinking. They must have changed from big S, big O, SO, to this new logo, ESSO. I don't know why. Was it just in Canada? I don't really know. Acquired by Exxon and rebranded. I don't know, because Standard Oil, wasn't Standard Oil one of the biggest ones in the world, and isn't it still there? I don't really know. Someone says, I never found the one with the words you sang. Tom, here it is. Here's the link again. Here's the link. So that was really, really fun. Thank you, Tom, sir, for finding that. Oh, we're there. Is it time? Soka. Excuse me. Relax. I'm going to be at this bench most of the day today. I'm going to try. I hope there's not too many people coming in to bother us, but I will be at the bench here most of the time today. So it's going to be a long carving day today. I am now really, really behind the 8 ball. It's December the 8th. I've still got days. I got a good week's work left of work on this. I've got to do printing. There's a million things I got to do for the project. The next YouTube video. I am really, really behind the 8 ball now. This is the Oshibori truck, for those of you who don't know. Is he going to turn his motor off? No, so I've got to turn off the outside audio here. Oh, he did turn it off. Okay, different truck, no idea. Okay, we have auction winnings here today. There's a bunch of small little, oh! We have green tape for the first time in, how long ago was that? How long has it been since this happened? My God. I haven't seen green tape incoming green tape in a long time. Someone's asking, do the tiny details hold? Yes, the wood we are using is very, very, very hard. These tiny details are going to hold for a very, very long time. We will be able to make many, many, many prints. Oh, here's the man masking time. Akasaka-san, good morning. Hi. On a dumb question, did you notice outside on the sidewalk, was there any mess out there this morning? Like right near where the camera is?
Like a mess?
Well, there was a dog accident, I think, there this morning. Is it okay?
I think it just...
Seems okay. Okay, I guess it's been cleaned up. Okay, no problem. If you can't see anything, then fine. No, there was somebody cleaning up there earlier this morning, and I guess they made a mess and they probably cleaned up, so it's okay. Auction goods. We're just at the show and tell time of the stream here today. So. It wasn't a dog accident today. Okay, what we have here is a kind of random little auction we got last week. And I'm not 100% sure these are going to be woodblock prints. The auction guy wasn't 100% sure either. They look like woodblock prints from the front, but when you get to them, we'll see. They are. It's okay. They are. Bonus stamps.
That's cute.
What must have happened was he put the price up for shipping and then found a cheaper way to ship it. So he refunded what I had paid for shipping with stamps.
That's nice of them.
They're nice, very nice, very nice. Very nice. The stamps are a refund. I mean, he must have estimated the shipping or something, and then it turned out that the prints were small, so he got them into a smaller envelope and used less money than I had actually paid for shipping. So very nice gesture. They don't all do that. In fact, that is rare. And what happens quite often the other way around is when you end up getting something for a low price, if there's, it's a low starting price, nobody bids, I get something for $5 or something, the guy is thinking, geez, I'm not making any money on this. So he charges like $20 for shipping, something like this. We have this case happens all the time. When the goods are really cheap, the guy will stick on a huge shipping bill, $20 for shipping, and he sends it in an envelope with like $1.50's worth of stamps. So we get that all the time. And there's nothing you can do, you just have to bend over and take it. But this person is an honorable person, absolutely. What is it, 60, 100, 140 yen? And I must have paid more than that. But anyway, to the prints. Yes, they are indeed woodblock prints. What have we got here? I really don't know what we've got. The auction was very poorly described as 12 very small little random woodblock prints, and they're probably torn from a book. They all show a tear along the edge, and I think these would have been, yeah, look at this. You can see you can see damage on the edge where they've been torn off out of some kind of album or torn out of some kind of a book. And I know no more about this than that. So let's have a look at them together, explore what we've got. They're clearly woodblock reproductions of paintings, similar to the things we saw in the show and tell the other day. Who painted them? When they were done? I know nothing. There might be something, there is a hunko which we could maybe try and read, but I certainly can't read it while we sit here right now. And first guess as to what this might be is this could be a teihon book, a painting style book. They would have been used in schools, like the school kids, high school kids or college kids would have had these. And when Japan was opened up after in the modern era, and they became a growing middle class, and education was a thing, and they built schools all over the whole country. They developed a curriculum. Everybody's got to study Japanese and science and this and this and this. And art and drawing was part of the curriculum. But you didn't have teachers. Nobody was able to teach us, because just all over this country, suddenly you build these schools, you hire these people. Any local person can teach Japanese, and you can teach history from a book or something, but how do you teach art? So they produced what were called teihon, sample books, by the million. And this would be in front of a kid on a student's desk, and he would try and replicate this on his own notepaper. He would try and learn how you draw leaves, how you draw a bird. And this is a complicated one. You wouldn't start with this. You'd start with very simple ones, just drawing a leaf shape. Page 2, different leaf shape. Page 3, different leaf shape. And bit by bit, you would work up through your art class until you were, copying pictures like this.
Is it something in the back? Like this one?
Oh, there's another one. I see, 2. I pulled off 2. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So without knowing more about this for sure, almost certainly these are pages from some kind of teihon, a painting style book, a picture practice book. And they're woodblock prints based on somebody would have, somebody in the education ministry, whatever, would have drawn the master copy. Then woodblock print artisans would replicate this in woodblock, and you would print billions of copies that would then go out to the students. So what you're seeing is woodblock reproductions of paintings designed to be used as painting masters. And look at this. Look at all the scratch carving. This is actually carved. It looks like dry brush. It looks like kasure from a brush, but it's actually carved. All the patterning you see here is actually carved. Those dudes, you saw what me doing for the past few minutes. Here we have the same kind of thing. There's a light gray block underneath, and then there's a blacker block on top, which is carved very roughly with all these rough patterns. And this is called, there's 2 names for it. One is sabibori, rust carving, like rust scratching, rusty carving. And the other one is kasure-bori, scratch carving. The guy would have carved lines here first and then smashed it up with his tool. It looks like it would take a million years. It doesn't, because you really do it quickly and roughly. Nobody went through here and carved little tiny black dot, black dot, black dot, black dot. No. He carved the outside shape first and then used a tool, perhaps the same knife, perhaps a different tool, to rough it up. It's been done here very, very well. This is really impressive work. Very impressive. Very simple stuff, but my God. For us to try and replicate a little picture like this now, my God, the blocks, the gradations, 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't even know. Very, very impressive work. There is an artist name. I don't know this. I'm sorry. I'm not sure how to read this. No. The very last character looks like ba, ha. Other than that, I'm sorry. If we have somebody who knows how to read that kind of classical Japanese, I certainly can't. It's not all beautiful art, the point wasn't to make masterpieces, the point was to make things that the kids could use to learn to draw. Interesting point here, look at these. We've got these parts of the flower here, and they're in 2 tones. So we've got 2 blocks for this area you see here. There's a gray block first with all the shapes, then a darker black block to make it look like gradations. And the printer has to line them up exactly. And the kid who would be replicating this would have to get his brush, dip it in the ink, and then draw black here, and then he would have to get his brush, go up, 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 gray at the top. The brush would have to run out of ink. This is not trivial stuff. This is not book one. No, this was not. This was practice for school children for drawing. This is not a book for professionals. Nothing to do with carving practice or printing practice. This book is made by woodblock printmaking simply because that was the only printing technology available at the day. If they had had modern color offset printing, they would have replicated it that way. The only reason they used woodblocks to make this was because it was the main printing technology of the day. So this wasn't practice for carving or for printing. The only reason carvers and printers were involved here was because they're the people that made the books. Again, multiple blocks overlaying the same place here. What are we looking at here? I'm not quite sure. Are these banners? They look like flags of some kind. Festival flags, maybe? I'm not actually sure what we're looking at. The thing I was talking about a minute ago when I was carving the Hokusai dragon part, the thing about the shape of the lines, Look at this one. You can see it goes down. It's got the little hook at the end, the way the brush would pull it up. And this is the kind of thing, this part of the line, and then the beginning of the line. This is what I was trying to catch back there, trying to catch what the designer had done by using his brush. This stroke was in, high one stroke. This stroke, the brush held a little bit too long, and when you picked it up, it left an end on it. Next stroke had another one. Some of those strokes don't have it. It's just stroke, stroke, stroke. And the carver's job, you saw me doing this, is to try and catch the taste of all of these things. And this little hook that comes up at the end, it's got a little, I don't know what you call it, it's got a concave shape on the hook there. You've got to try and catch as much as you can of all the different shape of these things. And if you do that well, your finished woodblock print looks like it was just drawn with a brush. So this is my job for the rest of the day, just carving a bunch of little lines to make up that dragon's body, but every one of those lines has to have that kind of look and feel. And very much, you can see what we've been got here. Going through this book, there was various animals. They would always include a group of animals from the zodiac, because this was a standard thing for people to draw. Not sure what's happening back here. I don't know. I guess that's the back of the head. So yeah. The original carvers too have done a job. They would have taken original brush painting and they must have had to decide how to break it up into wood blocks for reproduction like this. And that's not simple at all. If you were starting with, I can see now the blocks where they've carved them because we can see the lines. But if you were just starting with somebody's blurred brush painting, how do you break it up for blocks, for printing? It's not a trivial job at all. And more scratch, eh? Lots and lots of scratch carving. Very pleasant little album, and I'm not sure. It came up on auction last week, and I don't think a lot of people were paying attention to it. Let's have a look here. Where's my auctions? Hang on a sec. I don't know where it is. Hang on one sec. Oh, here we are. Okay, 2,000 yen. Here's the, for those who are curious, this is the original auction. There's the auction for those who are curious about it. Not many people bid, and it was 2,000 yen. So I'm very happy to get this. Goes into our collection. These are not going to go in our shop. These items are going to go into our collection just as more examples of how woodblock printing was used in people's daily lives back in the old days. In this case, the printing technique is used to make school textbooks. Okay, I think that's enough. It's Thursday now. I'll be here a couple more days. Saturday morning, I will still, almost certainly, I will be working on this dragon. There's no way I'll be finished before Saturday. So you still have to put up with more of that. Let's put up the outside camera. You can see the shadows are growing, but it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day today to show. Clear and cold. I wish I could go for a walk. Not possible, not possible. Okay guys, thanks very much. Thanks to the mods for helping out again. Thanks for all the different hints and video links and things like this. And I'll be back in a couple of days. Thank you again, and bye for now. Ninjas are getting ready there, eh? Ninjas are getting ready.
Ninja?
Yeah, across the street they've opened up. They've got their guys outside.
Nice.
First reservation is probably 10 o'clock, I guess. Okay, bye for now.